Imagine a world where, childhood mischief could actually escalate into life or death drama.
Right.
Where just painting a fence becomes this masterclass in human psychology.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And where a kid's adventurous spirit really clashes with the harsh realities of a nation that's still figuring itself out.
That's exactly the landscape of Mark Twain's iconic novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
And today, we're doing our deep dive. We're not just, revisiting a classic kid's story.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
We're going much deeper into Twain's really nuanced exploration of childhood, morality, and that whole complex journey of growing up in pre-Civil War America.
We'll be drawing directly from the original text, really unpacking the layers of this foundational American novel.
Absolutely. We want to get right into the heart of it.
So, get ready for a trip. We're heading to St. Petersburg, Missouri, think 1840s. Right there along the mighty Mississippi River. Our mission today is to really examine how Tom Sawyer, the quintessential mischievous boy, how he navigates this world that's full of both playful innocence and some pretty dangerous adult truths.
And along the way, we'll uncover those universal experiences, right? Youth, freedom, and that inevitable, sometimes really painful loss of innocence.
We'll explore how Twain, with that signature wit and keen observation, transforms what looks like a simple boy's adventure into this powerful commentary on human nature and, American society.
It's going to be quite an adventure in itself, just unpacking it all.
Yeah, it really is. So let's jump in. Okay, let's dive right into Tom's world. His very first appearance, right at the start of the book. Twain sets the tone immediately.
He really does.
You get those classic exasperated calls from Aunt Polly. Tom, no answer. Tom, no answer. What's gone with that boy, I wonder? You, Tom.
You can just hear her sighing, can't you? She's clearly at her wit's end.
Totally. Searching everywhere. And the description of her spectacles, pulling them down to look over, pushing them up to look under.
Right, because they were her state pair, Twain tells us, built for style, not service. Just brilliant. She could have seen through stove lids just as well.
And poking under the bed with a broom, only finding the cat. It just paints such a picture.
And that whole initial search, it really captures Aunt Polly's character straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She's this mix of strict duty but also overwhelming affection.
Yeah.
And then she finds him trying to sneak out of the closet, seizing him by the slack of his roundabout.
Jam everywhere, hands, mouth.
And he tries to deny it. Nothing. It just instantly establishes Tom as this, elusive little scamp, always finding trouble, always trying to wriggle out of it.
And what's great is Twain gives us that peek inside Aunt Polly's head, her internal monologue.
Exactly. She's constantly battling between her duty, do some of my duty by him, and her heart.
Her affection for him.
Yeah. She says, he's my own dead sister's boy, poor thing,
Yeah.
and I ain't got the heart to lash him somehow. It's that classic parental dilemma, but, amplified by her situation.
Oh, it's a constant struggle for her, absolutely. She feels like she should discipline him, lick him, but her heart's just not in it.
Right.
She knows he'll just play hooky again, and she'll be obliged to make him work tomorrow to punish him.
And she even recognizes his cleverness.
Yeah.
How he keeps mixing things up.
Yeah. He never plays them alike 2 days, and how is a body to know what's coming? You get the sense she kind of secretly admires it, even though it drives her crazy.
Totally. She understands his psychology.
Yeah.
He knows just how far he can push her, knows if he can make her laugh, he's off the hook.
It's like this playful game between them. Underneath the frustration, there's this deep, exasperated love.
For sure. Lovable, but a total handful. Right from page 1.
And then we meet Sid, Tom's half-brother.
Sid, the model boy. The perfect foil for Tom.
Exactly. And he's the little tattletale who points out the thread on Tom's collar.
Yeah, the thread Aunt Polly sewed on to check if he'd skipped school to go swimming. Sid notices it's been changed.
Tom's reaction is priceless. She'd never noticed if it hadn't been for Sid. Confound it. He's furious. Wishes she'd stick to one color thread.
And immediately vows, but I bet you I'll lamb Sid for that. I'll learn him.
Which he does, starts pelting him with dirt clods almost right away.
That just sets up the sibling rivalry perfectly. And it shows Tom's immediate pushback against, authority and convention, even the petty kind represented by Sid. It's a theme that just runs through the whole book.
That clod throwing is classic boyhood stuff. But, okay, while that first bit shows us his mischievous side, it's the whitewashing scene. That's where you really see his genius for manipulation.
Absolutely iconic.
Saturday morning comes, beautiful day, bright and fresh, but for Tom, dread.
Total dread. His punishment for playing hooky is, whitewashing this huge fence, steals his whole holiday.
Life was a burden, the text says. He even tries to bribe Jim, the enslaved boy, with a marble, offers to show him his sore toe.
But Jim's not falling for it. Knows Aunt Polly would tart a head off me. So Tom's stuck. Or is he?
Exactly. This is where his psychological prowess just kicks in. He completely pivots.
And the timing is perfect. Ben Rogers shows up, pretending to be the big Missouri steamboat, all excited about going swimming. Rubbing it in, basically.
Yeah. Hi, why, you're up a stump, ain't ya? Making fun of Tom working.
But Tom, he doesn't react like you'd expect. He just keeps whitewashing, looking at his work like an artist, totally absorbed.
He projects this image of complete focus, even enjoyment.
That's the key, isn't it? He understands people want what seems valuable or exclusive.
Right. So when Ben says, don't you wish you could go swimming, but of course you'd rather work, wouldn't you? Tom just plays it cool.
Dan's surprise. What do you call work?
And when Ben insists, why ain't that work? Tom's like, well, maybe it is, maybe it ain't. All I know is it suits Tom Sawyer.
He doesn't complain. He doesn't beg. He elevates whitewashing into this, exclusive privilege.
Like it? Well, I don't see why I oughtn't to like it. Does a boy get a chance to whitewash a fence every day? That line.
That's the killer line. It makes it sound rare, special, not a punishment at all.
It's pure reverse psychology. Salesmanship 101 almost.
Totally. Ben is immediately hooked. Stops eating his apple, just watches more and more interested.
And Tom masterfully makes it seem like letting Ben paint would be this huge risk, like Aunt Polly is super particular about this fence.
Jim wanted to do it, but she wouldn't let him. Sid wanted to do it. She wouldn't let Sid. If you was to tackle this fence and anything was to happen to it, he builds the value, makes it seem forbidden.
Which makes it irresistible.
Exactly. Ben immediately starts bargaining. Ah, shucks, I'll be just as careful. Now let me try. Say, I'll give you the core of my apple.
Tom pretends to be reluctant, but inside he's thrilled. Ben ups the offer to the whole apple.
And Tom, finally, graciously hands over the brush.
And by the afternoon, Tom is literally rolling in wealth. He's collected this incredible haul from all the boys who paid for the privilege.
What a collection. A kite, a dead rat with string, marbles, part of a Jew's heart blue bottle glass.
A school cannon, a key that unlocks nothing, chalk, a glass stopper, a tin soldier, tadpoles, firecrackers. It's absurd.
It just shows how well his manipulation worked. And it teaches us so much about perception, right? How value is created.
Absolutely. Twain uses this incredibly funny scene to satirize, social conventions about work, but also reveals these timeless truths about human psychology, how we desire what's hard to get.
It's foundational for understanding Tom. He's not just naughty. He's incredibly astute about people, a natural salesman, a persuader.
And it kind of critiques how society defines value, doesn't it? Shows how arbitrary it can be.
Definitely. It's a brilliant scene on so many levels.
So just as his material wealth grows, his emotional world takes a huge leap too. Enter Becky Thatcher.
Ah, first love.
Tom's still basking in the glory of the fence triumph, walks past Jeff Thatcher's house and sees a new girl in the garden, a lovely little blue-eyed creature with yellow hair plaited into 2 long tails.
And boom, instantly smitten. The text says, a certain Amy Lawrence vanished out of his heart and left not even a memory of herself behind.
Just like that. His previous passion for Amy, dismissed as only a poor little evanescent partiality.
It perfectly captures that fleeting, intense nature of childhood crushes, doesn't it? How quickly affections can shift.
Oh, completely. And Tom immediately starts showing off at school to get her attention.
The classic boy moves, cuffing other boys, pulling hair, making faces, all for Becky.
And then she tosses the pansy over the fence. That becomes their symbol.
Right. He picks it up so carefully, buttons it inside his jacket, next his heart, or next his stomach, possibly. Twain's little side there is great.
It shows how much meaning he invests in these small gestures, the power of imagination in young love.
And their courtship is just so charmingly innocent, isn't it? Like kids mimicking adult rituals.
The peach, the I love you scrawled on the slate, hiding it, then revealing it, that mix of shyness and boldness.
And the engagement ritual. Tom explaining, you only just tell a boy you won't ever have anybody but him, ever, 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 and then you kiss and that's all.
And Becky asking, what do you kiss for? Tom's flustered reply. Like, that, is too, well, they always do that!
It's just pure, sweet, youthful romance. Whispering, I love you. The innocent kiss. A perfect little bubble.
About 5 seconds.
Exactly. Until Tom, in his excitement, makes the classic blunder. He mentions Amy Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's ever so gay. Why, me and Amy Lawrence. stops dead. He sees it in her eyes.
The big eyes told Tom his blunder. Becky realizes she's not the first. Heartbreak. Anger.
Pushes him away, turns to the wall, crying. It shatters that idyllic moment instantly.
It really highlights the volatility of young emotions, doesn't it? How deeply felt those first betrayals are, even if they seem small to adults.
And Tom's reaction? Classic Tom. Retreat into drama.
Wounded pride. He ditches school, storms off into his imagination.
Fantasizes about grander roles. Maybe a soldier. An Indian chief.
But the pirate idea, that's the most appealing. Now his future lay plain before him and glowing with unimaginable splendor.
It shows how he uses that imagination as a coping mechanism, right? Escaping emotional pain through romanticized fantasy.
Absolutely. And it sets the stage for his later adventures, where that line between fantasy and reality starts to get seriously blurred. So we move from that relatively light world of first love and schoolyard tricks
into something much, much darker.
Definitely. The introduction of Huckleberry Finn and that whole harrowing graveyard scene, it's a major shift.
Huck Finn, the romantic outcast, as Twain calls him.
He represents this pure, unburdened freedom, doesn't he? A total contrast to Tom's life, even with all Tom's adventures.
Huck doesn't have to go to school, doesn't have to wash. He just lives, smokes, chews tobacco.
And Tom is completely drawn to that. To Huck's wildness, his absolute liberty, he finds a kindred spirit in mischief there.
Their friendship seems built on that shared world of, like, folklore and superstition and just ignoring adult rules.
Which you see perfectly in their chat about wart cures.
Oh, yeah, the spunk water, the bean.
But it's Huck's dead cat method that actually leads them to the graveyard.
Yeah, right. You need a dead cat. Go to the graveyard around midnight when someone wicked has been buried.
And when the devils come to take the body, you throw the cat and say the magic words. Devil follow corpse, cat follow devil, warts follow cat. I'm done with you.
It's so perfectly morbidly boyish. Sets this eerie mood, but it still feels like their world, you know? Full of strange beliefs.
But that atmosphere shifts dramatically. They're waiting for the devils to take Hoss Williams.
And they hear voices. Real voices.
And the realization hits them with this chill. They're humans.
That moment. It's the end of the game, isn't it? The brutal adult world just crashes into their space.
Absolutely brutal, because what they witness is Injun Joe murdering Dr. Robinson.
And framing Muff Potter, using Potter's own knife.
And Joe's motive is laid bare, that chilling speech about revenge. 5 years ago, you drove me away. Your father had me jailed. Did you think I'd forget? The Injun blood ain't in me for nothing, and now I've got to you.
It's pure malice. And the boys see it all. It just shatters any sense of safety they had.
Completely. It turns the story on a dime, from adventure to serious moral drama.
And their reaction is pure terror. Leads to that blood oath.
Oh, that oath. Tom painstakingly writing it out on a shingle with red keel.
Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer swears they will keep mum about this, and they wish they may drop down dead in their tracks if they ever tell and rot.
The seriousness of it for them. Breaking their thumbs, signing with blood, burying the shingle.
They truly believe they've locked away the secret, thrown away the key. It's not just a promise, it's this sacred, terrifying pact rooted in primal fear.
And the weight of that secret, it crushes Tom, especially.
Yeah, the guilt, the growing pains, sleepless nights, nightmares.
Muttering things in his sleep. It's blood, over and over. Don't torment me so, I'll tell.
His harassed conscience is so clear, he's terrified he'll talk in his sleep and give them away.
It's a huge departure from his earlier carefree self. The stakes are literally life and death now.
And Sid, of course, Sid notices.
Ever the observer. Points out Tom's restless sleep, his sudden aversion to things like inquests on dead cats.
Says Tom keeps him awake talking in his sleep.
And Polly just dismisses it, thinks it's the shock of the murder affecting everyone, doesn't realize Tom saw it.
Sid's just this low-level background threat to the secret.
But even with all that fear, you start to see Tom's empathy developing, his moral compass twitching.
Right. Sneaking those small comforts, tobacco, matches to Muff Potter in jail.
And Potter's gratitude just twists the knife, doesn't it? You've been mighty good to me, boys. Better than anybody else.
Tom's guilt deepens. It cut deeper than ever this time.
It shows that growing struggle inside him. Torn between saving himself and doing what's right, his underlying good heart is there, wrestling with the terror.
And the terror is real. The threat of Injun Joe seeking revenge if they talk.
It hangs over everything. They realize if Joe isn't hanged, he'll kill us sometime or other, just as dead sure as we're laying here.
They try to rationalize staying silent, you know. If anybody tells, let Muff Potter do it. If he's fool enough, he's generally drunk enough.
That youthful logic, trying to find a way out of the oath's grip, but it highlights how severe the danger feels to them. Every shadow could be Joe.
This immense pressure builds and builds, finally exploding at the murder trial.
Which becomes the absorbing topic of village talk.
Yeah.
Everyone's obsessed.
Tom feels drawn to the courthouse, that awful, unaccountable fascination, but he's shivering with fear. Huck just wants to hide.
And you see Muff Potter brought in looking pale, hopeless.
Yeah.
And Injun Joe just sitting there, stolid, watchful. His presence is terrifying.
The tension is just immense. Everyone assumes Potter's guilty.
And the trial seems to confirm it. Witness after witness points the finger.
And Potter's lawyer, he doesn't cross-examine anyone. The crowd is bewildered. He doesn't even suggest Potter is drunk or delirious.
It looks like he's given up. The prosecution rests its case, says the crime is fastened beyond all possibility of question on Potter.
Poor Potter just groans. People are crying. His fate seems absolutely sealed.
And then, the turning point. Potter's lawyer, seemingly out of nowhere, calls his only witness.
Tall Thomas Sawyer.
The whole courtroom is stunned. Even Potter. Tom gets up, wild enough, for he was badly scared.
You can feel his struggle, the oath, the image of Injun Joe. His tongue fails him for a moment. He glances at Joe's iron face.
But then he finds his voice, summons this incredible courage, tells the court he was in the graveyard.
Hidden behind the elms, saw the whole thing.
And as he describes the murder and as the doctor fetched the board around and Muff Potter fell, Injun Joe jumped to the knife and,
Rash.
quick as lightning, Injun Joe bolts, smashes through the window and disappeared.
He pandemonium. But in that moment, Tom transforms. He's not just a mischievous kid anymore. He's a hero.
The pet of the old, the envy of the young. And Becky, her eyes now full of surprise, the gratitude, the adoration.
It's a huge moment of triumph. Proof of his moral growth. But it comes at a cost.
A huge cost. Despite the glory, the praise, his nights become seasons of horror.
Injun Joe haunts his dreams, always with doom in his eye. He's terrified to go out after dark.
And Huck's in the same boat. Constant fear. Can't enjoy anything.
Tom feels he can't draw a safe breath until Joe is dead and he's seen the body. It shows the lasting psychological impact. Heroism doesn't erase the trauma.
That loss of innocence is permanent. He's had to face real evil, real danger, and it changes him fundamentally.
So Injun Joe is out there, this lingering threat hanging over them. What's the next move for Tom?
Escape, naturally. Back to the fantasy, but this time with friends.
Yeah.
He, Joe Harper, and Huck Finn decide to run away.
And become pirates.
Of course. They head off to Jackson's Island, that wooded island downriver. Their perfect hideout.
And that initial feeling of freedom, it's just pure joy for them.
Absolutely. Tom lays it out. You don't have to get up mornings. You don't have to go to school and wash and all that Blaine foolishness.
You see, a pirate don't have to do anything, Joe, when he's ashore. It's total liberation from rules.
And Tom's romantic vision of pirate life is hilarious, really. Oh, they have just a bully time-take ships and burn them. Get the money.
Bury it in awful places where there's ghosts. Kill everybody in the ships. Make them walk a plank.
But Joe chimes in. They don't kill the women.
Right. Tom agrees, no, they're too noble. And the women's always beautiful, too. Such a naive, charming view of piracy.
And Huck, his reason for joining is much simpler.
Yeah, Huck's just like, I don't ever get enough to eat, generally. Pure pragmatism versus Tom's romanticism. It shows their different drives.
But even in their pirate paradise, that little voice of conscience pipes up about the provisions they borrowed.
Right, taking sweetmeats and apples, that was just hooking. But bacon and ham, that felt like plain simple stealing.
And there's a commandment against that. It's a brief flicker, but it shows those ingrained morals are still there, even in rebellion.
They decide their piracies won't be sullied with the crime of stealing again, which is pretty funny, considering.
But then, despite the fun, homesickness starts creeping in, doesn't it? Even for Huck, a little bit.
Yeah, and then they hear that sound, the muffled boom of a cannon from the ferry boat.
The sound used to raise drowned bodies. And Tom had that brilliant, if slightly morbid insight.
Boys, I know who's drowned. It's us.
He realizes the town thinks they're dead. And immediately, a new, incredibly theatrical plan starts forming in his mind.
Oh, the grand scheme. Returning for their own funerals. It's peak Tom Sawyer.
Pure drama. They hide up in the church gallery, listening to the minister eulogize them, talking about their poor, grieving families.
Aunt Polly, Mrs. Harper. Everyone's weeping. The whole congregation is sobbing.
The emotion is cranked up to 11. And then, right at the climax,
In walk the dead boys, marching up the aisle, Tom leading, Joe behind him, and Huck sneaking sheepishly in the rear.
can you imagine the shock, the jubilation, absolute chaos and triumph, all rolled into one?
And at Polly's reaction, it's everything. Crying, relief, scolding, hugging.
More cuffs and kisses that day
Isn't
than he
it?
had earned before in a year. And later we find out about Tom's secret visit back home.
Right. Sneaking in, kissing her while she slept, leaving that sycamore scroll saying they weren't dead.
Which she calls a blessed, blessed lie. It shows his good heart underneath all the showmanship. He didn't want her to suffer too much.
He wants the drama, but not the deep pain for her.
Exactly. But the aftermath. Tom achieves glittering notoriety. He's the talk of the town.
The hero again. But it goes to his head, sadly. He starts ignoring Becky again.
Thinks Gloria was sufficient. Decides he can be indifferent now. Maybe make her want to make up.
Even flirts with Amy Lawrence just to make Becky jealous. Shows he's still got some growing up to do emotionally, despite the public heroism. Gets caught up in the fame.
That little regression sets up the next big test, though. The cave ordeal. Which really pushes him.
It starts innocently, right? A fun picnic to McDougal's cave, exploring the drawing room, the cathedral.
It's a perfect adventure spot for kids.
Yeah.
Dark, mysterious, exciting.
Until it isn't. They're playing hide and seek, go off exploring, and suddenly they're lost. Can't find their way back, can't find their marks.
Becky panics. Oh, Tom, we're lost. We're lost. We never can get out of this awful place. The fun evaporates instantly. It's terrifying reality.
And this is where Tom really steps up. It's a genuine coming-of-age moment.
Absolutely. He takes charge, rationing the last bit of candle, finding water, using his kite line to explore side passages.
He keeps saying it was all right, but the text tells us his heart felt like lead. He's terrified too, but he's being brave for her.
He's suppressing his own fear, his hunger. His focus is entirely on Becky's safety. It's a huge shift from self-interest to selfless responsibility.
And then, as if being lost wasn't bad enough,
Injun Joe shows up in the cave.
chilling, Tom sees a human hand holding a candle. It's Joe, not 20 yards away.
Tom's paralyzed with terror, but relieved when Joe doesn't recognize his voice because of the echo.
It just hammers home that the adult world's darkness can reach them anywhere. There's no real escape.
And Tom protectively keeps it from Becky. Just says he shouted for luck.
As the days drag on, Becky starts to fade, loses hope, says she'll just wait there and die.
It's heartbreaking. But Tom keeps going, pushing past his own exhaustion, risking Injun Joe and all other terrors to find a way out. His determination is incredible.
And finally, rescue. That wild peal of the village bells when they're found.
The whole town erupts in joy, pouring into the streets, hugging them, kissing them, total jubilation.
Such a contrast to the fake funeral. This is a real return from the brink.
But the story isn't quite over. After the rescue, Judge Thatcher has the cave sealed for safety.
Which leads to that grim discovery later.
Right. They unseal it and find Injun Joe's body, starved to death right by the entrance.
He tried to hack his way out with his knife, chipped away at the stone. Pathetic and horrifying. Eating bats, candle stubs.
It's a dark, definitive end for the villain. But it really underlines the real-world consequences and dangers that shattered their boyish adventures. A very sobering moment.
But even that grim discovery opens a door for Tom's next big idea.
The treasure. Tom connects the dots. Injun Joe mentioning number 2 under the cross back at the haunted house.
He figures it must mean a place in the cave. He remembers seeing Joe there with a bundle.
And he convinces Huck, comparing Injun Joe to Robin Hood, one of the greatest men that was ever in England, and the best. He was a robber.
Connecting treasure hunting to that adventurous, heroic ideal. Using his imagination again, but this time for actual gold.
They go back into the cave, find the cross mark Joe made with candle smoke. Now where's your number 2? Under the cross, hey?
Huck's scared of Injun Joe's ghost, naturally.
But Tom, with that quick thinking, reassures him. Injun Joe's ghost ain't gonna come around where there's a cross. Brilliant bit of kid logic.
It works. They dig, find a small hidden recess, blankets, some old bones, but no box.
They almost give up, but then clink, Joe's knife hits something solid.
The box. Iron-bound. And inside.
Gold! Thousands of dollars worth. Just like Joe had said, they are suddenly incredibly wealthy.
Literally rolling in wealth. It changes everything. They go from being boys to being rich, respected members of the town overnight. The ultimate adventure payoff.
But wealth brings its own problems, especially for Huck.
Oh, yeah. The widow Douglas tries to civilize him. And Huck is having none of it.
His complaints are legendary. She makes me get up just at the same time every morning. She makes me wash. They comb me all the thunder.
Gotta wear them blamed clothes. It just smothers me. Ain't slid on a cellar door for years. I gotta go to church and sweat. Everything's so awful regular, our body can't stand it.
He hates it all. The bells, the routine, the clothes, the sermons. I like the woods and the river and hogsheads, and I'll stick to them too.
He sees civilization as a prison, basically, spoiling all their fun just when they got guns in a cave.
It perfectly shows his absolute rejection of societal constraints. He needs that wild freedom.
He really embodies that pure freedom, doesn't he? Such a contrast to Tom.
Because Tom, while he loves adventure, ultimately chooses to engage with society. He wants the status, the acceptance. The wealth helps, but he was already heading that way.
So how does Tom keep Huck around? Huck's ready to bolt back to his hogshead.
Tom's solution is pure genius. Blending his fantasy world with the social structure Huck can tolerate. Tom Sawyer's gang.
Complete with oaths, a secret hideout, and a rubber code.
Including rules for being polite to captured women. You take their watches and things, but you always take your hat off and talk polite. It's hilarious and brilliant.
It's Tom finding a way to keep the adventure going, but within a framework. Leadership, again.
And Huck agrees. He values the friendship, the structured adventure Tom offers, enough to give the widow's life another shot for a month, just so he can be in the gang.
It's a great resolution, shows the power of their friendship, and how even Huck needs some kind of belonging, even if it's a pretend robber gang. #tag themes and broader implications. Looking back at Tom's whole arc, you really see that journey of coming of age, his moral development.
Definitely. He starts as this clever trickster, the whitewashing scene being the prime example. Pure self-serving mischief, brilliantly executed.
Getting out of work, getting a witch off his friends,
Yeah.
all about him.
But by the end, he shows genuine moral courage, testifying at the trial, facing down his fear of Injun Joe and breaking that blood oath. That's huge.
A massive turning point.
And then in the cave with Becky, he goes from, childish infatuation to real protective responsibility, putting her safety first, showing true leadership under terrifying circumstances.
That exposure to the darker side, the murder, the corruption, it forces him to grapple with serious moral questions, doesn't it? He loses a chunk of that carefree innocence.
He has to. He can't just live in a world of games anymore. Real consequences, real danger have forced their way in.
Which leads right into that huge theme. Freedom versus civilization, personified by Tom and Huck.
Exactly. Huck is pure, wild freedom, rejects society, rules, responsibility, hates school, shoes, regular meals.
I like the woods and the river and hogsheads. That's his mantra.
He just wants to be left alone, basically, untamed.
Whereas Tom, he loves the adventure, the wildness, but he also wants acceptance, status.
Right. He wants the glory from the funeral stunt, the respect from the treasure. He chooses to engage with society, adapt to it, even while bending its rules.
Forming the gang is his way of blending the two, right? Civilized structure for wild adventure.
Precisely. And Twain uses that tension brilliantly to satirize small-town life in the 1840s. Its hypocrisies, its constraints.
Like how quickly the town flips on Muff Potter, or the rigidness of church and school.
Through Tom and Huck, Twain explores how different people navigate that pull between personal liberty and fitting in. It's universal.
And then there's the power of imagination. It drives so much of the story.
Oh, hugely. Tom's imagination fuels everything. Pirate, Robin Hood planning his own funeral. It's how he makes sense of the world, finds heroism, escapes boredom or pain.
It's his superpower, shaping how he sees things.
But the story constantly shows that imagination crashing into harsh reality.
Yeah, the fun trip to the graveyard becomes a murder scene. The exciting cave exploration becomes a fight for survival.
The treasure hunt is tied directly to the real, terrifying threat of Injun Joe.
Fantasy meets brutal reality time and again.
And that collision forces growth. Tom develops empathy, courage, responsibility. But it also means understanding life's dark side.
That loss of complete innocence. It's necessary for growing up, but it's still a loss.
Exactly. The world of childhood games has to make way for adult complexities and dangers. #tag outtruck.
So we followed Tom Sawyer from that crafty kid dodging chores
To a young man capable of real courage, real responsibility.
his adventures, the fence, the trial, the island, the cave, the treasure. They really map that journey from childhood innocence into, well, complicated adult world.
And the book just lasts, doesn't it? Its appeal is timeless because it captures childhood psychology so authentically.
Those universal things. Friendship, first love, fear, figuring out who you are.
Twain just nails the essence of youth. The humor, but also the deep struggles that resonates across generations.
And yeah, we have to acknowledge the historical context.
Yeah.
Some elements, like the portrayal of Injun Joe, reflect attitudes at the time that are problematic now.
Absolutely. It's important to see it through that lens. But the core themes, moral growth, freedom versus society, the power of imagination, those are still incredibly relevant.
Twain's work lets us understand a past time while still holding a mirror up to our own human experiences.
So as we leave Tom, stand there on the edge of young adulthood, rich, respected, but also knowing things he didn't know before, you have to wonder,
Has he really left boyhood behind entirely?
or has he just found a way to channel that imaginative, adventurous spirit into the structures of civilization, found a bigger stage for his performances?
What does it really mean to grow up anyway? Especially in a world that pulls you between that wild freedom Huck embodies and the polite society Tom seems to be joining.
How much of that childhood self do we all carry with us? Transformed, maybe, but never completely gone. Something to think about.